Deciding which characters to build, which characters to avoid is one of the more important decisions in Marvel Strike Force. But luckily for you, we're making it easy for you in this video, counting down the top 10 farmable characters in Marvel Strike Force today. So if you're ready to see which are the best farm targets, then you know what to do, Valley Club. Find that like button and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin and I hope you're having a great day. In this video, we're talking about the best farm targets in Marvel Strike Force today. And there's been a lot more characters that became farmable since the last time we did this. Some very good characters that became farmable since the last time we did this. So this list probably very different since the last time you've seen this. But if it's your first time here in the channel, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. At least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel. We have countdown videos like this to help steer your priorities in the right direction. We have news videos to help keep you up to date on everything in Marvel Strike Force. Question answer videos, everything to help your experience in Marvel Strike Force. But without further ado, let's check out the characters that are not eligible for this list. Now, this list is more aimed at end game players. This is going to help you in end game, but if you're a newer player or a mid game player, you're still going to get a lot of value from this list in deciding which are these characters that are very important for your journey in Marvel Strike Force. And to be eligible for this list, they need to be available on a node or in a store, or being able to get some consistent shards like big time Spider-Man or Mr. Negative or something like that. But all of our legendary characters that are not permanent, so these Horseman characters, these recent trial characters are not eligible. Our Dark Dimension characters, even though with this list you may end up getting Kestrel and Ultron and maybe even Ultimus before you're able to farm some of these characters, just for the sake of consistency, they are not eligible for this list. And obviously some of the newer characters in the game not going to be eligible as well. But in my estimation, the most important game mode is Arena, because that is where you could get your power cores. Raids are next because that's something you're doing every single day and that has some really great rewards. Then Cosmic Crucible, because that's where you're getting diamonds. And War, you may prioritize these game modes in a little different way. And once again, if you're a newer mid-game player, I think your main priority should be to unlock a lot of the campaign nodes. That way you could get access to farming these characters, farming a lot of the gear. That should be your main priority. And then going back and focusing on these game modes. But let's clear off this list and talk about the characters that were recently made available. And there's a lot of good ones here, like I said. Omega Red, great plug and play character, still became a permanent legendary since the last time we did this list. Deathpool is available now in the new Incursion 6.8. Weaver available on Incursion 3.7. Zombie Iron Man Incursion 3.9. Kang Incursion 3.8. Fowl became farmable on Incursion 6.9. Beta Ray Bill is now in the Crucible Supply Store. Sylvie available in the War Store. Photon in Villains Hard 7.6. Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes is also in the Cosmic Crucible Store, and Miss Marvel Hardlight is in the Raid Store. But let's clear this list off and get right into the countdown for December of 2023. And coming in at the number 10 spot is a very good character, one of the characters that just became available, so newly on this list, and it is Deathpool, one of the important unique characters to Marvel Strike Force in the game. And she does a lot. Right now, main value for Deathpool is going to be in Cosmic Crucible, a part of the New Wars. Very good team there to win some Cosmic Crucible battles, getting those all-important diamonds. And they still have a little bit of value in War as well. Let's go take a look at her kit, why she is such a beast. If we look at the 2 best T4s, I would say that it's in the ultimate here. At maximum charge, you're going to attack the primary target for 200,000% piercing instead of the normal damage. Goes up to 500% damage with this with the ultimate T4. And the passive is also one of the best moves as well. Anytime an enemy dies, she's going to heal, but also going to attack the most injured enemy, 240% damage, clearing 3 positive effects. You're going to do 60% extra damage to the most injured enemy with that T4 applied. So those are probably the 2 best T4s for her. Striker is the most important class, or the most prevalent class on MarvelStrikeForce.com, with 80% of users having Striker equipped to Deathpool. And where you could farm her, like I said, Incursion 6.9. Moving back to the list, coming in at the number 9 spot is another permanent legendary character. moving down 4 spots from last month is Dook. Now, Dook is one of the important pieces of the new Superior and Sinister 6 teams. They're very great in Cosmic Crucible, very good in War, and is one of the characters that I brought into Dark Dimension 6. So very, very good in that Dark Dimension 6 legendary section. Let's go take a look at his kit, see why he is such a beast, and some of the best T4s for Dook. And if we scroll down, one of the best moves he has is this special here. What the T4 is gonna do, flipping 3 negative effects into positive effects on self and all Sinister 6 allies. This is regardless of game mode, and also has a very, very strong passive as well, getting more damage and more damage for all chargeable Sinister 6 allies. So very, very strong move. And the traditional way to unlock Dook was X-Force for a long time, but with the recent update, that also got extended to Wave 1 Avengers and Defenders. So very easy to unlock Dook right now. And yeah, you should get him because he's a very, very good character. And the most prevalent ISO 8 class for Dook is Healer, with 78% of users on MarvelStrikeForce.com having Healer equipped to Dook. Moving back to the list, coming in at a number 8 spot, we're going to some raid teams here. And I think because this is the first section in the raids, this Bifrost team is very, very important. And one of the more important damage dealers on the Bifrost team is Beta Ray Bill. Yes, Beta Ray Bill, very, very good character in the raids, necessary in the raids, especially if you're doing these incursion raids. And with the new introduction of the new incursion 2 raids and the old incursion 2 raids becoming the first strike raids, well, they got a lot harder. So Beta Ray Bill, you're gonna need his damage. I know he's very, very annoying when you're facing him on defense, but also very good in War. Not the best in War, but a decent War defense team, and is a great choice for Dark Dimension 6. I think out of all the other Bifrost characters, the best choice for Dark Dimension 6 outside of Val is gonna be Beta Ray Bill, and that should get you through that first run of that Cosmic section. Second run, you're gonna have Super-Skrull, so it should be easy. But let's go take a look at the kit of Beta Ray Bill, see why he is such a valuable character now that you should be farming. Now, as far as T4s, I think one of the best T4s that you can put into him is this ultimate here. It's gonna do a lot of extra damage, attacking all enemies, 420% damage, 25% damage per positive effect on self. It's gonna do more damage with the T4 and additional damage per positive effect on self with the T4 as well. It also has a very, very good passive. What the passive T4 is gonna do on self or ally crit, he's gonna gain a charge, but on any character's turn, if this character has 4 or more charge, attack the enemy with the highest health, 200% damage. Applying defense down to that character, gonna lose those charges. So very, very strong character. I'm not sure if he has a lot of value outside of the raids and outside of War and outside of Cosmic Crucible, but still a character that you need right now. And yes, because Bifrost is that first section in the raids. If you want to get your hands on Beta Ray Bill, he's available in Cosmic Crucible supplies. And the most prevalent ISO 8 class for Beta Ray Bill is Raider, with 74% of users on MarvelStrikeForce.com having Raider attached to Beta Ray Bill. Moving back to the list, coming in at the number 7 spot is another Bifrost character, and because we already mentioned Val, well, it is Val. No surprise there, Val. Great character for the incursion raids, great character in the raids, great character in Dark Dimension 6. I think is a necessary character for Dark Dimension 6, which is obviously why Val is getting that nod above Beta Ray Bill, and is one of the 3 characters in the game right now that does have that expose mechanic that could be applied to enemies. And you could also use Val a little bit in War defense as well. Again, the Asgardians and Bifrost, not a strong War defense team, but Val is an important part of that team. Moving on to her kit, seeing why she is such a great character. And as far as what you want to call her, you could call her a he or a she. That is what the devs said. It's whatever you want. So if you want to call Val a he, that is fine. If you want to call Val a she, that is fine. If you want to call Val just Val, that is fine as well. But as far as the T4s for Val, the ultimate does 120% damage to all enemies, so big AoE attack. This is a very, very strong move, and it does have a long cooldown, but you are getting some energy back every time you attack an enemy with exposed, so you can start to get some of this energy back and use this a lot more. Reviving 2 allies with 40% health and in Raise and Dark Dimension, applying trauma to all enemies. This is a strong, powerful move, and the passive is also very good one as well. The T4, when an enemy is exposed to attack, this is where you're going to generate that ability energy. So yeah, you're just going to be stuck with all these long cooldowns if you don't have this passive T4. So this is probably one of the most important T4s you're going to do on this character. And if you want to get your hands on Val, very late farm for the incursion nodes, but incursion 6-9 is where you could farm some shards for Val every single day. And as far as the ISO 8 class for Val, 80% of users on MarvelStrikeForce.com have Striker attached to Val. Moving on with the list, coming in at the number 6 spot, another newcomer on this list is Spider-Weaver. And yes, Spider-Weaver has virtually no value in Arena, virtually no value in the raids, but still is a very important character, has a lot of versatility, mainly used in Cosmic Crucible to help mitigate some of the enemy's damages. Also useful in War to help with that infestation team in War. And any other interesting game mode that might pop up, like our towers or sword satellite, Spider-Weaver is going to be an important character because of the charge mechanic that she applies. Moving on to kit for Spider-Weaver, seeing why she is such a beast. We mentioned it a little bit. It's because of the charge. Now, you're going to need 3 T4s to fully maximize this, but the special does give 1 charge if there's no charges already on Spider-Weaver. The ultimate is going to gain 3 charges and applying stun and trauma to the enemy. So this is probably the best move that you can. But with the passive, this is where the charges come into play. While this character is charged, lower the accuracy by 100% for all enemies, and when an enemy misses, lose a charge. I think you need all 3 of these T4s for Spider-Weaver. And if you want to get your hands on Spider-Weaver, well, hopefully you were playing back in the day when there was that era that gave out 4,000 shards for Spider-Weaver. But if you weren't playing back then, you could get your hands on Spider-Weaver in Incursion 3-7, and the most prevalent ISO 8 class attached to Spider-Weaver. 72% of users on MarvelStrikeForce.com have Striker attached to Spider-Weaver. And moving on with the list, coming in at the number 5 spot is a newly reworked character. It's been farmable for a little while, but back on this list is Gambit. Yeah, Gambit is a beast. Required for the raids right now, the mutant section of the raids in the new Extreme X-Men team, and is very, very good in Cosmic Crucible. Again, never lost that value in Cosmic Crucible. Extreme X-Men or the Unlimited X-Men did a little bit, but now with that hybrid team with Nightcrawler, Gambit, Cyclops, Rogue, Dazzler, or maybe not even Cyclops, maybe Bishop on that in Node 5 in Cosmic Crucible. Well, very, very tough defense in Cosmic Crucible, and Gambit is a part of that. So you're going to get value in the raids, Cosmic Crucible, somewhat some value in War, and now that Gambit got his rework and some updated stats, is an option for the global section of Dark Dimension 6. And taking a look at the kit of Gambit, was a very good kit, mainly tied to Cosmic Crucible, but now with the rework is extended to a lot more game modes. I think one of the best T4s you can do, because you're using this so often, is going to be the special for Gambit. Going to give you some additional damage to the primary and adjacent targets. Blind bleeds for 2 turns, speed up for 2 turns to self and all X-Men allies. This is a very, very strong move, helping the speed of everybody on the team, because you're mainly going to be pairing him with X-Men allies. Ultimate is also very, very good. It has some big damage, but I think one of the best things that he does at the end of any enemy turn, attack the most injured non-summon enemy, ignoring taunt, ignoring stealth, 180% piercing, applying heal block. The T4, well, it's gonna give you more speed at the end of any enemy turn in the raids and Crucible. Fill the speed bar by 20% of this character's max health. He's gonna gain more max health for himself and X-Men allies. They're gonna gain stealth for 2 turns. So very, very good move. Very good character. I would build Gambit as soon as possible, as he's gonna take you all the way into the end game. And because the Extreme X-Men was just introduced, you can expect him to be viable in the raids for at least a year. I think that's the timeline that the devs are giving for each of these teams. So he should be valuable for a while. So build Gambit with confidence. And if you want to increase your shards for Gambit, Gambit's available in the Crucible supply store. And the most prevalent ISO 8 class for Gambit is Raider. 76% of users on MarvelStrikeForce.com have Raider attached to Gambit. All right, and moving on to the number 4 spot, first character that is sort of involved in the arena meta, Maybe not at the high levels with super-skrull and apocalypse, but if you don't have super-skrull, apocalypse in your arena shard, you still may be seeing Quicksilver, and he did drop a few spots from last month, 3 spots from last month, but still a very, very good character and is involved in a lot. Like I said, still involved in some of the arena matchups, is a great choice for Dark Dimension 6. Expensive mystic character, but I think it is worth it to take Quicksilver into the global section of Dark Dimension 6 or whatever Dark Dimension you are working on, because he's going to help you with that. Cosmic Crucible is very important defensive character because of all the turns he takes, can really screw up some efficiency for your opponent, and is involved in war and is very good with the charge that he is able to clear. And taking a look at his kit, well, he does a bunch of different things. You're going to use this basic a lot, so I would probably use this T4 just because the extra damage he's going to do, and always applying disrupt to the primary target if they have no positive effects, so that is a good one. The special is very, very strong. This is the way you're going to clear charge on the primary target and reduce the speed bar by 30%, and you're still going to clear all negative effects on this character with the T4. So I think this is a character that you may want to T4 all of these moves. This ultimate is also very good. It does have a long cooldown, so you may use this once per match, but you're still going to clear the negative effects in this character. 100% piercing on this AoE attack, and then the passive on turn, if charged, fill speed bot by self by 20%, and an ally turn, always gaining a random positive effect. So Quicksilver is going to help you a lot. Multiple game modes. I do see him ultimately ending up like a Silver Surfer, a very good character just without a team. But as of now, Quicksilver is involved in the meta and is gonna be helping you a lot in multiple game modes. And for the longest time, shards for Quicksilver were only available in the Cosmic Crucible rewards, but shards for Quicksilver are available in the Cosmic Crucible supply store right now. And the most prevalent ISO 8 class for Quicksilver, Striker. 86% of users on MarvelStrikeForce.com have Striker attached to Quicksilver. And moving on to the number 3 spot, kind of like Quicksilver, you don't have super-skrull or apocalypse in your arena shard, you may still be seeing a lot of this character, and the number 3 spot goes to a new character in Kang. Yeah, still a very, very good character, regardless of arena, regardless of his non-use in the raids. Still Beast and Cosmic Crucible is part of that Masters of Evil. Still Beast in War is part of that Masters of Evil. Actually, a lot of people are using him to counter the Infestation team still, but is a staple of Dark Dimension 6, that Cosmic section. It's very, very tough to get through it without him, and is a requirement for those Nova trials. If you want to get that Nova unlock, Masters of Evil is one of the teams that you need, but really it's all about Kang and Quicksilver for both of those nodes. So both of these characters important in those Nova trials. But taking a look at Kang, why he is such a beast, well, it's gonna come from this move down here. On spawn, on offense, fill speed bar by 5% for self and all allies. This is probably the best T4, and because of this line in his passive, is kind of like Emma Frost, and is a character that is still going to be involved in the meta for a long time because of this speed bar manipulation. This ultimate, the Kang Bang, also very, very good. Does a ton of damage. The T4 is going to clear all barrier, clearing all death proof, and applying defense down to all enemies. Very, very strong move. This is a very strong character overall, and I'm happy that you could farm Kang right now. I thought he was going to be getting that Icarus treatment, the Emma treatment, just not available. But yes, because of the introduction of diamonds and Scopely keeping the word about making these characters farmable, well, you could farm Kang right now on the Encouraging Campaign 3.8. And as far as the ISO 8 classes for Kang, well, there's 2 on MarvelStrikeForce.com that are really prevalent. Striker is overwhelmingly the more popular choice, with 80% of users having Striker attached to Kang, but Raider is another class that's very good for Kang. 17% of users on MarvelStrikeForce.com have Raider attached to Kang. And coming in at number 2 this month is another new character on this list, and is pretty much involved in the arena meta, whether you have Apocalypse or not having Apocalypse. It is Miss Marvel Hardlight. Yeah, very, very good character, and she is here for her arena value. Also very, very good in Cosmic Crucible nowadays as well. Is probably one of the important choices for Dark Dimension City section, whether you're Dark Dimension 6, 5, regardless, and is still involved in war. This is a strong, strong team. The Secret Defenders are still involved in many, many meta areas of the game. Taking a look at her kit, why she is such a beast, well, she is a big, big tank in arena. Safeguard with the T4 on the special. You're also getting safeguard on the ultimate as well in with the T4. But yeah, she does a lot of different things. Her kit is just a wall of text. But she's getting more barrier on spawn on her passive T4, more armor for herself and Secret Defender allies in arena, 50% extra max health. She's gonna need that extra 50% max health, especially if she's gonna be taking an empowered ultimate apocalypse basic. So you want her to survive. Sometimes she will survive. A lot of times she will die with all those extra bleeds and everything like that. But a very, very good character. A couple different ISO 8 choices, but the most prevalent for her on MarvelStrikeForce.com is Skirmisher. 86% of users have Skirmisher attached to Miss Marvel Hardlight. And if you want to farm her, she is available in the raid store. Moving on to the number one, I think it's no surprise that Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes, first time eligible for this list, is coming as the number one spot. And just like Miss Marvel Hardlight is involved in the Rita meta right now, whether you have Apocalypse or don't have Apocalypse, these Secret Defenders are all over the place in arena. Usable in Dark Dimension 6, the city section. I think is a requirement in the city section for Dark Dimension 6, and is just gonna smash every other Dark Dimension previous to that. Very, very good in Cosmic Crucible, very, very good in War, and is pretty much the meta team right now in a variety of game modes. Taking a look at his kit, why he's so good, well, he has a lot of bleeds. The T4 for the special, piercing, more damage, and then gaining immunity for 2 turns. You're getting 3 more bleeds to all enemies with this ultimate. I think you got to do all of these T4s. And when bleed is applied to enemy, we're going to fill the speed bar by Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes by 10%, lowering the resistance of bio enemies by 100%, and lowering the counterattack chance for bio enemies with immunity by 100% is what the T4 is going to do on the passive. Very, very good character. This guy is all about damage, all about bleeds, and is going to help you in whatever game mode you're going to bring him in. The most prevalent ISO 8 class for Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes is Raider. 87% of users have Raider attached to Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes, and if you want to farm him, one of the best purchases you can make in the Cosmic Crucible store. So that is the list, but now it's time for a few honorable mention choices that I want to bring up. Eternal, still very valuable all these years later. Icarus, Cersei, if you don't already have them at 7 stars and you already have some of these other characters that built up, well, Icarus, Cersei, I would go back and start to get some of those character shards. The Invaders are a raid team. The Bifrost is a raid team. Can't really farm the Pegasus, except for maybe Kestrel going back in Dark Dimension 1 if you don't have that built up already. But Cyclops is a member of the Extreme X-Men, so you can start to build him up as well. The new words are great in Cosmic Crucible, so you can start to farm the rest of the new words in addition to just Deathpool. And obviously, if you don't have Apocalypse unlocked, go back and get these Horseman teams. Apocalypse is one of the best characters in the game right now. Hopefully this video did provide you some clarity on what you should do with your farming. If you're a mid or a newer player, hopefully this gives you a glimpse of what you should be working on as you approach the end game. Hopefully this video did provide you some value. If it did, leave it a like. It is free for you and it helps out the channel tremendously. If you want to check out what is my ranking of all the teams in Marvel Strike Force right now, ranked from best to worst, make sure you check out the video up there. I will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin, out.